Welcome to Highwayman Hobbies. I started liking miniatures when I was pretty young. Whenever we would go to the state fair, we would go to the railroad exhibit, which was a miniature landscape of miniature railroads. And I really liked it, but I never got into it until my friend showed me a game called Warhammer 40K. And some of you might not know what that is, but I'm going to guess if you click this video, you probably do. So I started collecting, and like most people in this hobby, I started accumulating. And now I have a pile of shame. But they aren't all miniatures. Some are dioramas, or terrain that I've started and never finished. And I think that's a lot of our problems. Or at least my problem. Is I'll start a project, life gets in the way, and then I lose interest. You kind of get burnt out, and after a while you just stop. So now I have a room full of half-finished projects that I'm really tired of looking at. And this is my first project, to finish my Necron Flayed 1 action figure. I saw somebody turn an action figure of a Necron into a Titan or Knight, I can't remember. I thought it was a good idea, but I don't really play Necrons, so I wanted to see if I could turn it into something from Dungeons & Dragons, maybe like a Warforged Titan, or something like that. So to finish this model, I covered the base in black paint. I did this because I wanted it to look like shadows in case I miss anything. After I got a first couple of coats on, it finally started looking better. So then I decided to add some PVA glue and spread it out with some water. Put on some black sand from the hobby store. I think it's decorative sand that usually goes in planters. Anyway, it was pretty cheap, and it's in a OxyClean tub because we have to recycle. We do. Then I spread it out and make it look all pretty. Sometimes you gotta give it a little pat to make sure it spreads evenly. I really should have done this on a paper plate or something that was much easier to clean. I'm still finding rocks everywhere. I kind of just added this shot because I think it's satisfying to watch them all fall back into the container. Oh yeah, looks good. Looks real good. Looks like road. Now we add some larger rocky materials, like gravel, to make it look not so uniform. I added some of the bigger rocks to the base of the basalt towers, or the basalt rock structure, because it was kind of an odd transition. It just kind of looked like it was out of place at the base of it. So if he was walking around in loose rocks, he would be sinking a bit. So here's where I added some extra sand around his feet to make it look like he was sinking or kind of digging in. Oh yeah, spread the glue like a nice jam over toast. Now I'm adding some flocking, but I'm spreading the glue kind of sparsely because the faction that I think would have this in my D&D world is near a volcano or near a lot of forges, so there would be ash and rock all on the ground, so I didn't think a lot of greenery would grow. Alright, now to flock, which it's like you're seasoning a nice steak, you know? Kind of just sprinkle it on. Make it nice and pretty, like it snowed. Oh, and here's my favorite part. This is when we channel our inner Bob Ross and we just kind of beat the devil out of it to get the extra out of it. To get the extra off. You know what I mean? This is when I like to brush it and not really knock anything off, because the brush didn't do anything. So I kind of had to just, again, beat the devil out of it. And to finish a project, you always gotta paint the rim black. But I wasn't done yet. I found a scarab that it came with. Or it didn't. I don't know. I found a scarab, and I thought it would look good on it. So I painted him up too. I started with a nice black prime, and then I covered the symbols in white because I plan to kind of add a glowing effect with glow-in-the-dark craft paint. I don't know if I'd do this again. The glow-in-the-dark paint is not the best. The coverage is kind of iffy, and it's very thin, so you have to add multiple coats to get good coverage, and I don't know if the effect is worth it. I didn't know what effect I would do for the eye, if I wanted to do glow in the dark or if I wanted to make it look like a lens. I ended up doing glow in the dark, and I don't know if I'm happy about it. I add a symbol here to make it kind of look magic, since it's supposed to be in Dungeons and Dragons and less in Warhammer 40k. I don't know if a symbol means anything. I just kind of was drawing lines. And for the color, I was really trying to match the Necron, but I didn't know the paints that I used. So I just started off with a dark brown, and gradually I would get lighter and lighter until I didn't have the right color left. So I think it worked out well. So it kind of just looks like a burnt copper, like a dark copper. And I kind of like the look. I kind of like the color of it, so it's gonna stay. And then finally I put a little black line down the middle of the eyeball to really make it pop. And then I finally just glue it on, and I think it's done. And thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I'll be here pretty soon with another video. Until then, have fun, happy crafting. Goodbye.